Record, and we are recording. We're going to go in 5, 4, one more sip of McAllen, 2, 1. We're on.
Hey, rise and
Hey,
grind, everybody.
yo. It's up. What's up? It's early. It's
What's
early in the
up?
morning.
It's early. It's early. Want to thank everybody for tuning in. My name is Rodney. That's Omie D, of course. And we are the Rise and Grind Morning Show. Want to thank everybody for rising and grinding with us. 5 a.m. Tuesdays and
It's early.
Thursdays,
It's
early in the
early,
morning.
dog. Like Tuesdays and Thursdays. We also got some hot stuff coming for you. I am Omie D. That's me. We're gonna have an interview show. It's gonna come out. It's gonna be a 6-part series. We're gonna be cataloging some really good interviews with some really good talent and some people that you might know and some people that you might not know. So tune in to NTX Game Live dot com
NTSGameLive.com.
for that one coming out. 6-part series. I am Omi D. You'll be able to download the whole set if you want at one time. So that's what we got coming out. But it's Rise and Grind morning show. Omi D and Rodney. Man, how was the weekend, Rodney?
Man, weekend was it was pretty good, man. I had to head out to Philadelphia, and that's why I got this nice
Nice
suit
suit. You
on.
fly. You fly.
Yeah, so I had to come out to Philadelphia. I got an early morning today, but it was great. I've had a good time out here. I've had me a Philly cheesesteak already, one,
One.
which
Yeah.
is good. So I'll get another one today, and
Yeah.
that's pretty much my limit. So I don't
Yeah.
overdo it.
Look, I'm jealous. You're in Philly. Great place to have Philly cheesesteaks. I've never been to Philadelphia. I've heard a lot of
Hmm.
interesting things about Philadelphia,
Mm,
and I'm not going to cast any judgment until I get my chance to go there and
hmm.
enjoy the city of Philadelphia for what it has to offer. But I definitely want to get one of those cheesesteaks.
Oh yeah, it's the best. And I will say this: for what you heard, Philadelphia is probably the oldest city I've ever been to in my life. I'm talking about a city where they literally have cobblestone roads downtown. A city where you could be riding downtown and pass by Paul Revere's old house. You can pass by the Liberty Bell, and then you can jump right into a newer section of town. It's a very unique city. Very a lot of culture, a lot of American history, of course, but it's very very unique old
Like you
city.
said, Paul Revere's house, like the Beastie Boys and stuff. I'm down with that. I'm down with that. I want to go see
Yeah.
that Paul Revere. It's a big thing. With the what is it called? What's that? Revolutionary War. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. There's a
yeah.
lot of famous sites around Philadelphia. The Liberty
Hmm.
Bell there. I think the Liberty Bell's in Philadelphia.
It's in there.
And
Yeah, the
the
Rocky
Rocky
statues
statue,
here. The
the
Constitution is here.
Constitution. It's old.
All this stuff is here. All this
It's
stuff is
old. The
here.
Constitution's old, but it's here.
Hmm.
We appreciate it.
I
it's,
know, right?
it's
I know.
cool. It needs some changes.
I
It needs to
know.
be changed a little bit, but it's in the building, so we'll take it. We'll take it.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. What's going on with the weather
Oh
today?
man, today Tuesday. Hey, it's probably one of the most quiet days we're looking at here coming up in the future forecast. We got 61 out in Portland, 58 with rain showers in Atlanta today, 46 cold in Chicago, 44, 77 down in Houston, 88 the place to be once again, Phoenix, Arizona, and here Dallas, clear, sunny, 71. And finish up that skiing in sunny Aspen, 56. And for your Wednesday forecast, it's going to be really clear out to the east. Nashville, 67, clear skies. Atlanta, 63, clear skies. Boston, a little chilly at 43 degrees. Denver getting cloudy at 7. And we'll see some showers coming in, rolling off of the Pacific into the Pacific Northwest. Chances of some snow, possibly. Portland and northern San Francisco is going to be 60 degrees. No snow for you guys, just lots of rain. 68 in LA and 75 with clouds in Dallas. And that is your weather for Tuesday and Wednesday. Appreciate you, Weather Channel, for hooking us up with the national weather.
If you don't know, we can do the weather every Tuesday, Wednesday, every Tuesday and Thursday. So you guys make sure you gotta check that out. That's the best weather report in the nation by far. No one's got anything
Look,
on
I
you.
try to
Oh,
do it a little bit. I
you're the
try to do it a little
guy.
bit better. Look, we're gonna get some things rolling in the next couple weeks. We're gonna have to where the whole weather thing pops up behind me, and I actually do the. I
Ah,
mean, so
interesting.
over here in the polar ice cap region, we're gonna have this, and here in the four corners over here, oh, it's going down. It's going down. We'll have to see what's going down.
No
So
doubt.
stay tuned. The weather's gonna get live. We're gonna probably have a special guest host. I wouldn't mind having a stripper come through and doing the weather report with me.
Hey,
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 okay,
hey,
all
hey.
right,
She had to be one of those
all right.
afternoon kind of strippers, because
And she has to get up early and be getting off working
yeah,
pretty
yeah. So
late.
she's
One or
so she's
two.
off late. She'd already hit the with the old Waffle House or the old IHOP. She can come through here, bring me.
Now that would be fun. Getting a Waffle House waitress or cook to do the
You know
weather
what? The,
live
live
from
for
Waffle
Waffle.
House.
He
That'd be
say,
pretty cool.
we're here on the scene of the Waffle House with Ethel, the short order cook at
Let me get a
your
patty
patty
melt.
melt right now. Patty melt, and in Oklahoma it's gonna be 43 degrees and tornadoes. Back to you, Skip.
That would be
Yeah,
fun. That would be real
we gotta
fun.
get that going. We gotta get that going.
Well, we got a few topics to touch on real quick while we got your attention this morning. I want to start off with this whole March Madness that's
Bum,
going on.
bum, bum,
March Madness is one of my
bum,
favorite
bum,
times of the
bum,
year. If you're a basketball
bum,
fan,
bum, bum,
sports fan, whatever,
bum,
it's probably the only
bum,
time of year I really
bum, bum,
focus
bum,
on college
bum, bum,
basketball
bum.
other than Duke this year. Let me ask you a question
Woo.
first. Oh, did you do a bracket this year for March
I
Madness?
did do a bracket for March Madness. Yes, the only team that is the only shocking team that's still in it is Oregon. It's I
Mm,
picked Murray State to go pretty deep. I wanted them to go to the Sweet 16. I thought they had a good chance, but
hmm
they were able to get out of the first round, and that was about it. And there were a lot of upsets first round. You
mm.
know,
Yeah, yeah. But you know what? This year I didn't fill out a
no
bracket this
bracket.
year. I did not do a bracket
Why?
this year. It kind of snuck up on me.
Wait a minute. Hold on.
By
Hold
the
on.
time it was,
Wait.
it,
That's
it,
like saying Christmas snuck up on you. It's March. It's every year. It's March.
I know it's
It's
March
the end
Madness,
of
right?
March. So it's like, hey, you've
I know
had
it.
15 days to prepare for March Madness, and then boom, it's like taxes are due in like 2 weeks, and I have not done mine yet.
It, yeah, I haven't done mine yet either. It honestly snuck up on me. And then by the time I ready to fill out a bracket, I was like, you know what? Do I want to sit down and put myself through this again? Fill out a bracket, lose $25 in this pot. I was like, you know what, man? I'm just gonna enjoy it and watch it. But I bring it up because not only do you fill out a bracket, but the entire country fills
Oh
out a
yeah.
bracket, right? It's like the biggest thing
Oh
going,
yeah.
right? A lot of money exchanging hands, things are happening. Well, I was doing some research and found that the NCAA is the real big winners out of all of this. I don't know if you knew this or not, but March Madness is only second to the NFL postseason in terms of advertising dollars spent by companies
I
around the
can
globe.
imagine. So, do you see how many Bud Light and Miller Light commercials
Oh
they've been
man,
going back and forth with each other this whole March Madness? I'm enjoying the commercials. It's reminiscent of commercials of the '90s.
yeah, it's no kidding. And they go back and they dissing each other in the commercials, which is
Yeah.
even better. You got Bud Light dissing Miller Light, then Miller Light comes back and this is Bud Light throughout the
I'm just like
entire
this is,
game. It's like they're competing against
and
each other.
normally when March Madness, you don't expect advertising commercials to go. I'm just gonna use the term "go this hard," like they're going on each other.
Yeah.
But right now, Bud Light and Miller Light, like I'm looking forward to the Super Bowl right now. NBA
hmm
Finals are going to be pretty good if they're going to be bringing the wood like this on these commercials.
Yeah.
Oh, did you
Yeah.
see the Burger King commercial where the king is dressed up like Colonel Sanders because he's doing a grilled chicken sandwich now?
No, I
Oh
didn't see that
yeah,
one.
he's like, what did he say? The king has always been the number one with the grill, or the colonel with the
hmm
grill or something like that. And he's got on the white suit and
Oh
everything.
man.
I'm like, ooh, they throwing shade.
Yeah, man. Hey, you gotta like that. Anytime they ready to call somebody out and beef with each other like that, literally beef
Yeah,
with
I'm
each
with it.
other,
I'm
that's
with it.
pretty cool. That's pretty
McDonald's is
cool.
doing the high route though. They not beefing with nobody.
Well, I mean, McDonald's is an institution, right? McDonald's is like They're on every corner. People, like it or not, you grew up eating
That's true.
McDonald's.
It's
Your kids are growing up eating McDonald's. I mean, they really don't have to do much, although they
yeah,
do. And they're gonna spend money as well too. I found out that actually the if you notice how all those games in the first round are on like four different
yeah,
stations, like CBS, TBS, TNT, True
yeah.
TV, all there, right? The rights to those
Mm-hmm.
games just per year is $1.1 billion a
What?
year. Somebody CBS is paying 1.1
Just to
billion.
get the game.
Turner Sports is paying 1.1 billion a
Just
year
to get the game.
just to show the games. Just to
One
show the
point
games.
one billion dollars for this game. Okay. Okay.
Yes, just to show March Madness. And think about it though, me and you both have done some broadcasting
Yeah.
before, high school level, youth football,
Yeah.
whatever,
Yeah.
right? Semi
Oh yeah.
pro. And we know how hard it is to get set up just to do
Oh,
one
completely.
game. Imagine getting set up to do a 64 team
32
bracket.
games first week.
I, yeah, how much people you got to put in this city, next city, travel back and forth,
Yeah.
cameras,
Yeah.
broadcasters. Just imagine the undertaking it would take to do 32 games in 2 days, turn back around and do 16 games. I mean, it is one of the most unbelievable things possible you can think of to pull off, and the most expensive as well. But the advertising dollars are there. Last year they made 1.3 billion on advertising from March
Oh.
Madness. 1.3 billion in advertising.
But then, when you break it down like that and you start talking about the pure people that you have to hire, the rooms that you have to book, you're booking rooms in different parts of the country, and then you're flying people to different parts of the country. You're flying people home. You're buying food. Like there's a lot of expense accounts that are getting charged up. You're whining and
Yeah,
dining a lot of other people. So, $5 billion, I wonder what they actually keep out of that $5 billion after they actually put in to the time to actually make it, get done.
yeah,
Then on top of
yeah.
it, like you said, they get another $1.4 billion just for advertising revenue alone. And that hasn't gone
Hmm.
into ticket sales,
Yeah,
concessions, merchandise, parking, like the VR thing. I wanted
right.
to sign up for the VR, but I got the new Note phone, and it doesn't. There's a free adapter you got to order from Samsung to get it to do the VR thing. So it's kind of too late right now to see it, but I'm probably going to get it for like the Super Bowl or something like that. But they're charging $20 for the whole. I think it's 16 games. For
Yeah.
VR. So there's people sitting there in the house throwing on the VR goggles, watching the
Hmm.
whole game. So yeah, the NCAA is, they're not missing any ducats, Rodney.
No, and you also got to count the merchandising sales, people buying stuff for their team, the alma mater, people buying stuff if they get into the Elite Eight, the Final Four. And then the Final Four ticket, if you want to go to the actual Final Four
Uh-huh.
games, if you want to watch the entirety, it's $1,800. It's the average ticket.
Ooh.
Just for the championship games, $1,100. And we're talking about big stadiums. We're not talking about small
Doug,
things. You remember when the game was at
I just thought
AT&T?
about that.
Talking about big stadiums,
$1,100
man.
and he probably charged,
Yes.
40,000 people $1,100. Wow. Dog, that's the whole reason you build the Coliseum.
That's it. That's the entire
Yeah.
reason you do it. But the interesting thing too, is you look at like March Madness. You think college football would be close? Actually, the NBA postseason and the Major League Baseball postseason make more money than the college football playoff. Can you believe that?
Doug, but
They make more money than the college football
now the
playoff.
way that
Does.
they talk about
It didn't
way they
seem
talk about
right.
the college football playoff is they're totally maximizing the amount of money that they could be getting. And the thing is, the college football playoff system is the weakest playoff system in the country right now. And so, like,
Right.
think about if they redid that system to be more like the NFL playoff system or even this tournament per se, how much more money they would generate in college football. But, let me pose this question to you, Rodney, before we, jump into this just, sidebar. You're a big NBA guy. How would you feel if the NBA did a tournament like the NCAA did at the end of the year. Maybe left, the last four teams in the league out, and everybody else is one
Right.
game winner take it all tournament.
You know what? It would be interesting to see. It'd be fun. It'd be easy to watch. But the only thing I like about the NBA versus March Madness is the best team always wins in the NBA because you got 5 games or 7 games to really prove you're the better
Yeah.
team. And it's in the March Madness, it's like that Duke game last night I was watching in the hotel. You know, a lucky team won, honestly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But had they played that game to a best out of 7 series, the truly the best team wins. It's really the only sport other than baseball or other than hockey where the best team actually wins the game. It's not about who gets hurt in the game. It's not about the weather. It's not about a referee's call. It's about what team is actually better to beat you 4 out of 7 times. And to me, that's more valuable than the madness of, hey, we only play one game in or out kind of thing. If that makes any
I
sense.
mean, at a standpoint, it does make some sense, but it just seems so whack, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got 7 games to get it done, and
Yeah,
you're a
yeah.
professional athlete. It's like, do it in one game. If you can't win today, then you suck. And that's just how it is.
Now it would provide more drama. I guarantee you, more people would
Oh,
watch
it would.
if it was just
Uh,
one game. More people would
It'd be
definitely
the hottest
watch.
ticket. Like nobody would care. Like everybody would watch that tournament because you think about it.
Hmm.
Like say the Mavs, make it to the Sweet 16, and
Man, that'd be
yeah,
something,
happen
wouldn't
to
it?
make it to the Elite Eight in the championship. You never know, dog. But that's the beauty of it. But like you said, you put a team up against 7 games. Yes, the cream the cream is gonna rise to the top, is what my show man
Hmm.
said. But I still think the whole purpose of sports entertainment, Rodney, is to be entertaining. And I
True,
think that's kind of
true.
where some of the people who follow baseball that are classic baseball enthusiasts who don't want the game to change are failing to realize that baseball has become more than just a leisure sport for the world. Baseball is truly an entertainment sport. So you need to make it, therefore, be entertaining. So,
Right.
yeah. Yeah.
Well, I'm with that 100%, man. It would be hard to get used to, but I cannot lie. It would be definitely more entertaining than watching a 7 game series. I can't lie about that. That's one thing about March Madness is it's so entertaining to where you're glued to it
Yeah.
because you don't know what's going to
Yeah. And
happen.
then, second half comes. It's 3 minutes left. Somebody's down by 6. You're like, you know what? 2 3-pointers and they're back in. Next thing you know, they're down by 2. You're like, oh. And then they win by 1 point. And next thing you know, Fordham is in the Elite Eight. And then you root
Yeah,
for the underdog, Rodney. Like in the Wofford, Kentucky game, like I'm literally rooting for Wofford. And I'm like,
because you
the
want to see the
upset.
upset.
I'm literally
Yeah,
rooting for the dog. It was a dog was their mascot, is the underdog. I'm like, let's go,
yeah,
little bitty dog. But they weren't able to pull it off. But the whole time, like I'm sitting here watching with my homie, and we're just like, oh my god, yeah. And it puts that
yeah.
excitement into it, bro. But like
It
the
does.
whole
It
fact of
does.
like with the 7 game series is it's the fourth quarter, you down by 24, and you pull everybody out. You know,
If there was a scenario, it'd be like seeing the Phoenix Suns make it to the championship game to play the Warriors, right? I mean, that's the only way something like that can really
Doug, but
happen.
it
You
could
know,
happen.
it
And
could,
let's
it
think,
could.
if you win in a winner take all style tournament, I mean they had the Kumite, right? And you saw the blood sport. You've seen movies like this where it's
Yeah,
either win or die, and you get all the money and your girlfriend back. Like that's what they
yeah,
need. That's what the NCAA tournament brings, Rodney. These kids are out here. You win or you go home, and it's over. Your dreams are shattered. You were a number 4 seed, and you got beat by a number 10 seed, and you're going
yeah.
home. You were for sure win. You were the University of Virginia last year, and you got knocked out by the number 16
By
seed.
16
First thing
seed.
ever happened.
Man, that's
That's
amazing.
amazing, Rodney. But people talk about that for years. That was the first thing they talked about when the tournament started was Virginia getting knocked out by number 1 seed,
Yeah,
16 seed.
yeah. And they had a scare too. They had a scare with that first half of that first game. They thought maybe this is going to happen
Yeah,
again, but they did
yeah.
pull it
Hey,
off.
look,
So
I feel like two brackets, Rodney, and so in one of them, I definitely picked Virginia to not get past the first round, just in case they pulled a
okay,
oopsie doopsie like they did last
yeah,
time.
right again. Yeah, yeah.
But it that's the beauty of March Madness, Rodney, and I think that's why there's so much excitement around March Madness. You have people who never even watch college basketball tune in, and people watch, don't watch the NBA playoffs, but it's like, oh, okay, well, it's game 4 tonight.
Yeah, it can be
Oh, okay.
drawn out. There's some games in there when you're up on 3-0 on the team. Where it's like, why are we playing this
Yeah,
game
yeah,
anyway? I mean, we're gonna
yeah.
sweep y'all anyway.
First round,
So why play
Golden
the
State
game?
versus the number 8.
Yeah,
It's like you gonna win one. We're gonna let you win one.
yeah,
And I mean that's the whole
right.
thing, Rodney. Like it kind of takes it away from me on sports when you pull athletes out the game because we gotta save them for tomorrow. It's like, nah, win or go home.
That's interesting. That's an interesting concept. It
Yeah,
really is. That's something we should definitely dive
I
into
think
for
so. I think
sure.
it's a lot of money to be made.
And to kind of wrap it all up, we talked about the money, the excitement. Even the coaches get a bonus when they make it to the tournament. The farther they go, the one person that does not make anything, that gets no money out of
The
it,
athlete,
are the
nothing.
players. Get zero. They get zero out of all of this billions of dollars that's going on. They get zero. The student, quote unquote, student
Isn't
athlete
it
gets
amazing?
nothing.
And some of those guys aren't even on scholarship, and they go out there
Yeah,
and they get all the way and win the tournament, and then the next year you still don't get a scholarship. And that
yeah.
is amazing how that
I
happens.
know
And
it.
that's once again shows just the culture of America, of how long that things were just done in big business, and people were like, oh, they're giving you the opportunity. It's like, yeah, but I just made you $1.4 billion. Like,
You know what? Staying on the theme of college, I'm actually at a conference of other colleges here in this area, and so I was talking to a couple of them about another thing going on colleges now, and that's the admissions deal, where they caught these rich people trying to get their people into school and paying $40,000 for someone to take a SAT test for them, and doing this, doing that. And the reality of the situation is, folks, I'm not surprised. I know you're not surprised. This is what rich people do. This is what everybody does. And take it from a parent that's got a kid in college for the first time. When we fill out our college applications, we looked at schools that would accept her. I mean, that's just the bottom line. Once she gets accepted to a school, even if that school was more money than the other school, you're gonna pay whatever it takes for your kid to go to college. This is the bottom line. So I know people are upset about it. I get it. I know where it's coming from. But look, I'm just telling you like it is from a parent with a kid in college. You pay for where you want your kid to go.
no,
That's just the
but
way the
but
game
the
go. That's just how the
but the
game go.
problem with it from a financial standpoint that I'm not understanding is, how do you pay more to get the kid into school than you would for
Mm.
them to graduate by going to the school?
That's the thing that bothers me, because I guarantee you one thing. If my kid can't get in there, I'm not gonna risk my money to put them in there. I'm just telling you that right now. If they can't get in, and I know they can't get in, I know they ain't got it all. I'm not wasting my
Dog.
money putting them in there. You know what I mean? That's the bottom
Somebody
line.
spent I think it's $1.1 million to get that kid into Yale.
Hmm.
$1.1 million. Now, granted, a Yale degree. I mean, if I was to go to a company and say, "Yeah, I got a computer science degree from Yale," they're gonna be like, "Oh, ooh, excuse me," and they
Right.
probably pay me 6 figures right off the money for a degree from Yale. But like you said, you're paying for your kid to go to college, and you're paying to make sure that their future turns out a certain way. So it
Hmm.
is not fair that they did that. However,
It's a
it's the
system.
system, and we live in a
Yeah.
capitalistic society.
Yes. The people that go to Yale are rich people,
Yeah.
man. I don't know what people are so upset about. Rich people go to Yale. Rich people go to Columbia. Rich people go to Princeton. All right. The people that grew up with meager means go to meager means school. They go to state schools. They go to public schools. That's the way the game has always been. I saw this post that Dr. Dre put up a couple of days ago that he took down, congratulating his daughter for getting into
Uh oh.
USC, and they had the nerve to put in the post, "Oh, she did it all by herself." Well, Dre, I've been to USC's campus many a time, and there's a building named the Andre Young Music Building after Dr. Dre that you gave $70 million to USC to have. There's a Andre Young Hall on the USC campus, and you gonna sit up and tell me that your daughter got in all on her own? Dr. Dre, come on now, come on now. I know it ain't nothing but a G thing, Dre. I know the game, buddy. You made the chronic. I'm with you. I'm riding with you 100%. But don't tell me that your kid got in there on their own when it's a building with your name on it,
Oh,
Dre.
dog.
Don't
Wait a
tell me that.
minute, dog.
Yes, yes. I've been to the campus many a time. There is a Andre Young performance building of the arts on the USC campus, and you telling me your daughter got in on
He
her
say,
own? Come on, Dre. Keep it
he say,
real, man.
Dr. Dre, how you gonna pull that bullshit?
How you gonna pull that bullshit,
My
Dre?
daughter got in on her own, and she in the music program. Nigga, what?
You got a
You
building
got
with
to
your name
dog.
on it,
That's
Dre.
$70 million, dog. If they don't accept your kid and you donated $70 million, they got a problem.
What you donating it for? If you what you donating money to the school for if your kids
Cause
can't
Snoop
go
likes
there?
USC. That's what it was. Yeah, come on, dog. Look, bravo to the rich people for doing what we expect the rich people to do. Let's
Thank you.
not be surprised when rich people do things that rich people do. Oh, you paid and cheated to get your kids somewhere. Well, that sounds about right. Like that's what they've always done on the movies. So might as well just, validate what we see in the movies.
What segueing from rich people in Hollywood to some rich people in
Yes.
small towns around the area. I saw this story today, man, and I guess I didn't know what was going on because we have so much going on in our little city of
Mm-hmm.
DeSoto, our little area of
Mm-hmm.
DeSoto, that there's this big thing going on in Cedar Hill where the district attorney decided today that he is not going to press charges against some Cedar Hill officials for some things that they did. So I'm going to read exactly what happened here verbatim from the website from Dallas News. Apparently, a city council vote last year to create a special tax zone that would draw in 160 million dollars to help develop the suffering downtown Cedar Hill area. Also, secretly boosted the property values of several town officials, including the mayor.
Mm.
Okay, so Mayor Rob Frank said he was embarrassed. He apologized for it as he didn't disclose it. Well, this is what he didn't disclose, though. He didn't disclose the fact that him and his families and families of other city council members own at least 25 properties inside this zone. 25
Dog.
properties. The zone boundaries loop around a 30-acre goat farm and other properties owned by the family of Councilman Chris Parvin as well, including his White Rhino coffee shop. Also inside the boundaries are 9 properties owned by the mayor, a retail center, vacant lots, and rental homes, all owned by the mayor as well too. Now this zone covers about a square mile, a 36 square mile radius, 1 square mile, and City Hill by itself is only 36 square
Oh
miles
yeah.
total. So by doing this tax zone that he created that benefits him doubles the property value of all the 25 properties in the area. Just by creating this tax zone. And yet the DA decides today, oh, we don't have enough to press charges. No big deal. It is what it is. And this is again is small town politics at its absolute worst. I mean, if you can't follow the money and see what's going on here, then I feel for you, 100%.
So when you get in an accident, Rodney, a vehicle accident, auto vehicle accident, what is the first thing the insurance company tells you not to do?
They tell you don't talk to other
Yeah,
insurance
they say don't
companies.
talk to nobody else. No, the first thing they tell you to do is do not admit fault at the scene of the accident. Do not
True.
say, "Oh, I'm sorry, that was my fault." Now, the mayor already apologized. He said he was embarrassed that he didn't disclose this information. So he basically just said, "Yeah, we did that.
Yeah.
We
Right.
did some gangster shit in here." You know,
Right.
but a more startling fact about this whole best southwest region of Dallas County, Rodney, is this is going on in other cities, like you said, in our little pocket of DeSoto. You know, I think there were some times that there were some politicos that might have laced their pockets and possibly brought development to the DeSoto area heliport. But I'm just saying, you know, this is a problem on this side of town that seems to be growing in number. And then for the district attorney to say he's not going to file charges, it's like, whoa. How
Yeah.
many of
Right.
those 25 properties were yours, Mr. District Attorney? Or do you own?
Yeah. What's your
he owns
kickback?
the goat farm. I assume he owns
Yeah.
the goat
Right.
farm, or his company is the one bringing in the new apartments. And I'm well aware, and we're very familiar with that area, Rodney. And it is nice. It's nice for the city. It's a good look for the city. It's a good look for
Right.
that sector of Dallas. You know, but I think it was the mayor of Plano. I can't remember her name, but I just saw this story. She, and I'm probably going to tell it just a little bit right, she ended up having an affair with a developer that was trying to get some development going in the city of Plano. She ends up resigning as the mayor because, you know, she was having troubles at home. She goes and marries the developer, and then the developer gets the property in Plano, and she works for the company, you know, works for her husband. Now she's facing federal jail time because that's a conflict of interest when you work.
Yeah.
Time
Big time.
conflict of interest.
Big time.
And so I'm not understanding how the district attorney is going to let this come and go. And you know, Ronnie, I'm gonna play the race card right now. You know, if this is black on black crime, then that's not right. Okay,
Yeah.
it's just you know, I'm gonna take care of another brother. You know, they done slipped up. We're gonna take care of him. That's fine. If you were gonna do that, it should have never got to the news. But now, just to blatantly Donald Trump me, and just be
Yeah.
like, yeah, we ain't gonna charge him for it, but it's all good.
Well, it should be noted that you bring up a good point because Mayor Rob Frank and the city councilman name both were white councilmen on the city council, and to say that there was, you bring up the conflict of interest, to say that it's not a conflict of interest that you build a tax shelter around the properties that you own is
All right.
ridiculous. It's pretty ridiculous. This also brings into question too. It hints in the article about, I don't know if you're aware, but you know, I used to live in Cedar Hill off of Joe Wilson, and now this is, they're putting in the new freeway at 67. They're actually putting in a fuel city at Joe Wilson at 67. All right, a large fuel city. You know how big those are, the whole nine, tacos and everything, right there on Joe Wilson at
Really?
67, on the right side, same side as the mall. And people are questioning, well, how did they get passed? Because there's several people that tried to develop in that area that have been told no,
Oh,
but yet Fuel City comes in and they get their property right there. And that area right there is exactly what they're talking about in terms of the new zoning
yeah.
stuff.
See, and I see some corruptness, and you know, Rodney, it's funny that you mentioned something like that because historically, in the heliport district of DeSoto, there were several politicos that were involved in bringing that deal to the area of DeSoto. And if you don't know much about DeSoto, DeSoto is a small community, probably what, about 60,000 or so, Rodney? 70,000?
Yeah, about
70,000?
60,000. It's a landlocked
Completely
community as well.
landlocked.
It's bordered by other
Yeah.
municipalities.
Median
So,
income less than $100,000 a year. No,
hmm
well, I can say nobody. Two people in DeSoto might know somebody that owns a helicopter.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah. We have a heliport that no
No
one
one
uses.
uses. And
No one uses. I don't think I've seen a helicopter at the heliport before, or take off, or land, or
I've seen
anything.
one. I've seen one. And I will say this
Mm,
much. When I was told the reasoning that this logically made sense was in times of emergencies like storms and traffic and stuff like that, these helicopters are going to come here and refuel and go back out to do things. Now, granted,
okay.
if there's a Cat 4, Cat 5, I don't know, F4, F5 tornado comes through and we need to have, stuff flowing in and the heliport is the only thing left standing, thank God for the heliport. Right now, there
Right.
was no reason to build a damn heliport in DeSoto, Texas. You got an airport in
No.
Lancaster. You got an airport less than 5 miles away in Dallas Municipal, where the county,
Redbird.
where the
Yeah.
county has its helicopter sitting, and somebody got money to build a heliport, and nobody rents that space out for hangars or nothing. My niece took a trip there.
Yeah.
My sister said it was the worst trip that they ever took because there was no helicopters there. It's whack.
Welcome to the heliport. This is where helicopters are
Yeah,
supposed to
where's
go.
the? We
We
don't
don't
have
have
any.
any, but they look
Yeah,
like this. They move like this.
Let's all sit here and imagine a helicopter.
Everybody just turn
Yeah.
around, spin around, hold your arms out, spin around.
This is.
All right,
Thanks
thanks for
That's where the
coming.
helicopter's supposed to park, but nobody's renting this mug right now. Man,
Man,
we
I
ought to
tell
have a
you,
party at the heliport, man.
we should. We should do a
We
show
should
from
do
the
a
heliport,
show
a rise and
from the
grind show
heliport.
from the
And we're here
heliport
5 a.m. at the heliport.
at the heliport.
There's
No
nobody
one here.
here. There's
There's no security. There's nobody.
We're
Here.
in,
There's
we're
nobody
in the
here.
actual tower that lands the helicopters. We're using their microphones and stuff. We're waiting for the helicopter. We'll be here all day until a helicopter comes. Cause
Well, let me ask you. Oh, you have somebody that has run for office in DeSoto
yes,
before. Kind of how town politics works. What finally has to happen to make this change? I mean, we got to figure out a way to get younger people in there that actually live in these communities, that have kids that go to these communities, not kids that are left, but kids in the actual school districts, people that actually, depend on the city more so than guys that own 25 homes in the city that are, just being a mayor because they're retired and they got nothing to do. We need to figure out a way, and how do we figure out a way to get people like us in there and to make better
well, I
decisions.
think the thing that you have to first change is the overall voting community in these areas. Now, the voting populace of DeSoto is a very small populace at that. I'm not going to put out the percentage because some people might find it to be very pathetic with so many registered voters in that city that actually come out for city elections. But these people are a small group of people, Rodney. They're baby boomers. They're majority baby boomers. And since the majority of voters in these small towns in the southern sectors are baby boomers, you have people that are going to stay in those offices that are possible baby boomers. You get what I'm saying? So, you
Yeah.
have Jeremy Woods in Glen Heights, who was recently elected there for a councilman, which is different. But you see, Glen Heights is starting to be, it's starting to develop. It's starting to be younger.
Hmm.
DeSoto still has a humongous African American baby boomer population that is involved, and I think what's going to happen now, Rodney, is there's going to be a change in the guard, but it's going to be very crucial who you put in these positions because it's going to be what you see the overall vision of the city to be. And I think that
Right.
you can have politicians in these seats, but if the overall vision of the city is not where the politicians want it, then you're going to see what you see in DeSoto. DeSoto has plenty of money to invest in businesses, right? And we brought businesses to them, and they don't want to invest in them. They want chicken shacks. They want barbecue spots. They want,
Hmm.
hodgepodge, areas that have other chicken shacks and barbecue spots in them, you know. And so when you have a completely landlocked area like you do in DeSoto, you're going to have to get a vision of the city because bringing in these businesses is not the problem. The problem is you have homes that don't pay their tax bases. So you have to bring people in the city that care. So you're going to have to bring up the average income of homes in DeSoto. And the only way to improve that is you're going to have to start by improving the school district of DeSoto, making the school district have better scores. Once the school district has better scores, you can charge people more to live in the school district. Like you said, close the borders down of the school district.
Yeah.
Build a wall. You know, that seems to be the answer right now. Build a wall and hope somebody doesn't steal it for home security. You know, so but
and speaking of building a wall, as we continue to segue through the show so eloquently by Omie D right there, we should touch on election 2020 real fast. You know, we do have our write-in candidate. Omie D is our write-in candidate for election 2020. So my question for you today is I want to ask you a little bit about this Mueller report. It finally goes out. They had a recommendation today that he didn't do anything, no collusion with Russia. And rightfully so, like anybody that gets off, anytime you get pulled over, you get away without getting a ticket, you feel somewhat vindicated by the fact that, hey, there's nothing on the surface, I didn't do anything. You think this is going to give him the fuel to get reelected now?
He's got a
this is a big win for him. I got to be honest.
This is huge for him because there were those waning Trump supporters like, if he's colluding with the Russians, and I don't know what I'm going to do, brother, because my daddy was all against the Russian and communism and stuff. But now I knew it. The Democrats is out to get him. They's out to get him. And you're going to have some of these young Republicans who were swayed, were like, well, maybe the Democrats were out to get him. And I was telling everybody, like, look, let's put this report aside. Let's look at let's look what this man has said. Look at what this man has done. He's pulled us out of peace treaties. He's basically committed the sin of the Antichrist and given the Holy Land back to the Jews. You know, it's like, whoa, I think it was back to the Jews, but he did something with the Holy Land. I think somewhere in like Revelations, it's something about the Holy Land going somewhere in Antichrist's Holy Land. So I'm like, wait a minute, this dude is about to start a war. Like, he's not really, and then I figured out what he's doing, Rodney. He's taking everything that a president that is a political hodgepodge of good or bad. He's taking every one of those decisions and he's making a choice. He's like, you know what? We're going to build a wall. He's like, you know what?
Yeah.
We're going to stop Kim Jong-un. You know what? We're going to make gas $2.50 a gallon. Like, we're going to build a pipeline. Like, anything that the president didn't want to do, he's like, we're going into Germany. He's like, whoa.
Right.
There's no need to go into Germany. You know, it's cool.
Right.
They're cool. Germany's cool. But I think another thing, too, is, it's something I was reading today in the article that came out about soccer between the German and Serbian match. And there were two players. One is Leroy Sané and the other one's, Ilkay Gundogan. And they both play for Manchester City. And there were some guys that were screaming racial things at them on the field. And so one of the reporters, said something, and, of course, they being drunk, hateful, racist people began to incite more hate, and they were removed and arrested from the stadium. Now, in Germany, you can get up to 5 years in prison for inciting racism and hate on the street. And I'm like, wow, think about how far our country has come. That was Germany that literally killed people. And they don't like to talk about that. And I understand, but they've come from the ashes of that. And they're to the point, they've progressed in their society to the point that they're like, look, this is a clear violation. This is hate. This is hate speech. We don't want that in our city. So you're going to jail for 5 years for hate. And that's fine. I'd rather you go to jail for 5 years for that than selling weed.
Yeah. Real talk.
It's the thing is, this report is vindicating him. It's going to give him a shot to get reelected. And I'm going to be honest with you. The way that the politics go, unless everybody writes in for lust for 2020, he's probably going to get reelected because it's It's
That's
the
what I
money
said.
trail,
That's
Rodney.
what I
The
said.
American politics, it's a capitalistic society. It's based on money. Republicans gonna do 8 years. Democrats gonna do 8 years. So unless you write me in or one of the other non-Democrat or non-Republican candidates that gets written in and gets billions of votes and wins, it's what it's gonna be. And he's not making bad decisions for the business people. Gas is $2.50 in Texas. So that's typical of what
Yeah.
happens when there's a Republican in the White House. Gas goes up to an abnormal amount, and he's over here trying to distract everybody and stuff like this. And then next thing you know, they're gonna say we don't have enough oil and we can't drill over here, so we need to build another pipeline that
Yeah.
just exploded and ruined a whole bunch of nature and everything. So it's like, come on, bro. Like let's just be real about it. If he doesn't win, it'll be because people that did not vote last time got up and decided they're going to go and make a difference and vote for someone that has nothing, that maybe has a little bit more political savviness, and
Right.
and granted,
Right.
I'm not the most internationally diplomatic person, but I don't hate anybody. So I'm willing.
I just want I want to be in your cabinet because I would love for us to sit back and make some
Dog,
worldly
I'm glad you
decisions.
finally decided that you wanted to be part of the cabinet,
I'm
dog.
ready, man.
Like,
I'm ready.
the
I'm ready.
cabinet is a very important place in the White House, and people have to realize this. If you have a strong cabinet, then you definitely have a strong team. And see, all these people here, make out the cabinet. So we got to figure out which seat in this cabinet that we want. And the vice president is a seat in the cabinet, Rodney. So I just want to let you know that's available.
Okay.
Secretary of Treasury wouldn't be a bad one. Secretary of State, Hillary Clinton once held that. See another good one.
See, Secretary said I get to travel, right? I
Yeah,
get to go around, get my own
yeah.
jet and
You
everything.
get little Air Force. You get Air Force Two. That's what we
Yeah,
call
that
it.
work.
You want
I'll
Secretary
take
of
that.
State? All right. So
Yeah, I want that.
we'll say next Tuesday. We'll do a special show. We're gonna record me and you discussing some of your policies. So you have a whole week to get together
Okay.
your policies for Secretary of State. There you go. Secretary of State-elect Rodney Fisher, ladies and gentlemen, will be coming to you, as he lets you know why he's going to be such an integral part of President Lusk's executive branch. He's going to be Secretary of State. Look, that's one person down. We've got the rest of these people to go. We're going to get all of these filled up. You know what? I'm going to get the logo of Secretary of State, Rodney, and I'm going to put it in the corner every time you dun, 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 boop. I'm going to put it up there. So, bet, Secretary of State. Look at that. You already got the suit coat and everything. I'm going to be the first president that rocks a T-shirt.
Everywhere.
Like, President, where's your suit? It's like, suit? I don't wear no suit. I'm out here in T-shirt and chucks. Let's do this, and some jeans. But yeah, man, I'm serious, man. Like, the president of the United States, he's okay right now. He won a lot of people back with that.
But you know what's funny? What disappeared by this is people are skipping over what happened last week when this guy went and shot up all those people, and really his inspiration to do so
Oh
was
yeah,
Trump.
yeah.
People forgot all about that. Now the reports out that is like we live in a society where it's so much microwave culture where it's like we need it right now. Then once we got it, we're done with it. People are forgetting
Yep,
completely about this
yep.
madman. They gave him all the credit for shooting up 40 people. You know
President
what I
Trump
mean?
is the face of white supremacy. It's like, really?
It's amazing,
That's
man.
that's what you gonna do?
It's
Okay.
amazing. Well, before we wrap this thing up, man, I want to give my quick little grind of the day, and for the grind of the day, I want to just highlight Apple today. Apple made a big announcement today. I've been waiting on this. I own some Apple stock for full disclosure,
Not me.
so I was waiting on this to happen. They were making their announcement today about their streaming service for Apple TV, and I just want to say I'm kind of surprised at what they're doing. So those that don't know or missed the announcement while you're at work today, they had launched Apple TV
Yeah.
Plus, okay, which is really a streaming service. They really didn't go into detail about how much it's going to cost. Some people saying $9.99, could be more depending on what you add on to it. The interesting thing about what they're doing though is that they're not really going to be they're gonna compete with Netflix, but not really compete with Netflix, right? So Netflix has about 1,000 original content programs, whether that be shows, movies, whatever the case may be. Apple TV Plus is launching with only 40. All right, original content pieces. All right, now they do got some big names that done some deals with Hollywood. Steven Spielberg is on it. Oprah Winfrey, Jennifer Aniston, Reese Witherspoon. They're all doing different types of shows on there. M. Night Shyamalan, all of them are producing shows. So they got some heavy hitters. But their goal is to be more of a distribution point versus an original content point. So to give you the difference is Netflix, you go on Netflix, you watch all Netflix
Mm-hmm.
programming, right? This Apple TV Plus is going to allow you to not only watch their programming, but you can still get ESPN, you can still get HBO, you can still get Showtime, you can still get um, other subscription services like
Okay.
Stars. You can
So
still get Epics. You can still get History Channel. So they're more like a cable network distribution spot versus an actual online content creative that makes
so
any
they're
sense.
going the competitor of Hulu more so than Netflix.
Yeah,
Yeah, because Netflix
right.
doesn't really offer the TV like that, but they just
No,
offer the
no.
original content. So yeah, they're going more of trying to take out Hulu at a stance. But you know,
Hmm.
yeah, bro, they're gonna have certain success because you have people who are loyalists. You know, they're
Yes, they
Apple
are.
loyalists.
Right, right, right. And see that the key thing they said today is they want to make stuff that makes life easier. Right? It's got to make life easier, and to them, that's not necessarily creating a bunch of content. Although they're going to spend $1 billion in year one on creating content, and that's nothing
Well,
because
that's
Netflix
true.
spends $2-3 billion a year on content. But the other thing they added, oh, that you'd be probably interested to hear about is Apple Arcade,
Really,
which is a subscription-based gaming service. They've got over 100 games that are all exclusive or new to Apple. It's going to be available in over 150 companies or countries. I'm sorry, and these games you have to download them, but you can play them with your Apple device. All these different games for a fee per month.
yeah, I think you have the loyal Appleists or the Apple loyalists or the Appleists who do it. But I mean, you got PlayStation, and you know, us gamers are gonna find something on there that we like. And I mean, I'm not. I mean, look, I get a MacBook to do business with, but I'm not gonna download. I'm not gonna
Yeah,
get Apple TV. I'm not gonna get an iPhone. Like, Google has their new one coming out, Stadia. You
Stadia.
know, and
Yeah,
it seems like everybody's like, hey, we're gonna. Here's a simple way to say it. It's like with the rap game, Rodney. It's now become easier for everyone to do everything. And so now there's way more content out there than there's ever been before. So even though it is, there has to be more places to put it. You know, you got, you know, premium content, and then you're gonna have like sub premium or middle content, and then like, you know,
right.
99 cent an episode content. You know, everybody's putting out content. Hell, we're putting out content right now. So you
Right.
know, that's the name of the game right now, is entertaining people. You know, one thing that I learned in a recession is two things that don't ever really lose money. It's religion and alcohol, religion and entertainment. Because
Yeah,
people
that's
always want to
true.
be entertained, whether
It's
it's
recession
recession
proof.
proof.
That's
You're in
true.
entertainment, you always gonna make some money, especially on the upside of the depression. So yeah, bro, like they gonna get their piece, but you know, it's smart by Apple because they realize they have a loyal fan base of people
Hmm.
who just completely love everything to do with Apple. So
Yeah. The other thing they're doing, I don't know if you use or have used before Apple News, but now that's becoming a subscription based service now. It's $9.99 a month, and I didn't know that Apple News was the largest, most used news app in the world. I didn't know
oh
that. I guess it's something that comes with your
yeah,
phone
come with your
anyway,
phone.
but now it's going to cost you $9.99. It's going to be. It includes over 300 magazine subscriptions along with the
Uh,
news feed as well
no,
too.
they'll pay it.
So
The
yeah, they'll pay that.
Apple
They'll
Lights
pay
will pay
that.
it. Apple Lights, Apple's
That's a good word.
Apple
Apple Lights.
Lights, Apple is
Now here's the thing that really shocked me though is they're doing a Apple card, like an actual credit card.
bank.
Okay, so this credit card And the reason why they're taking on the credit card industry is because this card is going to allow you to, it's very transparent, more so than any other credit card out there. Like you can actually see per purchase or per day where your purchases are going and what types of categories. You can manage how much you spend them in particular categories, whether it be entertainment, education, whatever. And also, it has a much lower interest rate, and they give you 3% back on the credit card to use to purchase other Apple products. So again, they're trying to kind of get into the credit card industry, and now once they announced this today, all the other credit card industries right now are trying to catch up and be more transparent about what's on the bill, putting things in categories, giving you more control over the credit card, not just allowing you to spend. But Apple has, they're trying to revolutionize the credit card industry. There haven't been any innovations in credit cards in probably 50
No.
years. So this is something new. That what it does signal, though, and this is the grind point, is that even though you're a product-based business like Apple has always been,
Mm-hmm.
right? Everyone has to shift and has to pivot. So now they're pivoting from a product business to a services business, right? Because services, believe it or not, if everyone has your product, at some point people are going to stop buying your products at the rate that they are. So now you got to kind of pivot and do something different. So they're doing services. Okay, so if you're a content creator like we are, this is good news. Okay, so not only will you be able to watch this show on the Twitch or on the NTS Game platform, but the NTS Game platform will soon be on Apple TV,
Dun-dun-dun.
where you guys can watch it there as well too.
Dun-dun-dun.
So
Dun-dun-dun.
always be ready to pivot, change your business around, see trends before they happen. I mean, the services business is exactly what Apple's getting into, getting out of the product business like we've known them to be, which is a bold move, a big move. But again, we got to wait and see
Hey,
who
I'm
goes
with
there.
credit card transparency, and I'm with some competition in the credit card industry because, bro, credit card rates are so high, and there's no reason for making credit card rates this high just because you can. Like, drop down these interest rates. Like, you want people to
Yeah.
borrow money, but you want them to borrow with a 27.3% interest rate. Like, ain't nobody gonna be able to pay that off. If like, be real. Like, let's get the interest rate down below 10%. People can use these cards and pay them
And
off.
honestly, with the advancements of checking accounts and checking account cards, people don't use credit cards like they used to before in the past. So now with this new card and able to put budget restraints on it, able to categorize certain purchases and see how you're spending, I can see people actually adopting this like they do a checking
Oh
account,
yeah.
because you do get some of those protections in there. But again, these are for Appleites. These are for guys that believe in the Apple ecosphere and are all sold on Apple. So it's going to be a little bit
I'll
different
just
for
wait to
that.
discover catches up.
But again, that's my ground
That's
for
it,
the
man.
day.
Look, it's been a hot show. You got a lot of hot points coming for you today. Make sure you get ready for the weather. I think it's gonna be some rain coming for you next week. And
Yeah, and I gotta get on my, I got a few minutes a day, and I gotta get back to
D
Dallas,
time,
man.
hold it down. You got to get ready for them Philly cheesesteaks. That's what you got to do.
Yeah,
You
that
know,
too, that
look,
too.
we are going to catch you guys Thursday morning, bright and early. It is the Omie D and Rodney with Rise and Grind, and we are out.
Hold on, baby.